Hello and welcome to In the Light, Growing Your Soul with me, Anna Isabel, and my guest today, who is Christopher Vasey. Hello, Christopher.
Hello, Anne. Hello from Switzerland, in fact.
Well, it's wonderful because I get to speak to people from all over the world. And today appears to be a slight departure because we're talking about actual physical health, where we normally talk about more spiritual matters. But I think that as I put so much emphasis on self empowerment and sovereignty over ourselves, it's very important that we understand our bodies and how to take care of them as part of that. So here you are, because you have written this amazing book called Lymph Health. So a good place to start would be, what is the lymphatic system?
Yes, I would just like to add something. If someone is interested or want to progress in spiritual matters, it's good for the person to have a body which is healthy, because then it's much easier. It's a help. That's the normal state we should be in. And therefore, physical health is very important for people who are open to higher things. So the lymphatic system, it's made of, the basic thing is transports lymph, which is a liquid, which is white. One cannot see it very well, contrary to the blood, which is red and which can be seen very easily. And that's a reason why the lymph has not been well known until the 17th century, when the people started, from what we know, started to talk about it. So it's something quite new. And these last years, many discoveries have been made. We understand much better what it is. Yeah. So the lymph is a liquid which is transported by the lymphatic system, which begins with capillaries, very thin vessels, and several of those capillaries meet and in a knot, a ganglion, a lymphatic ganglion. And when they come out again, it's only one duct, but a big one. And it goes on like that. Further away, this lymphatic vessel with others will go into ducts and come out of it a bit with a bigger diameter. And finally, in very big ones. And this journey starts deep in the tissues and ends up here in the subclavian veins. So the lymphatic system ends in the blood circulation. Now, the blood circulation is something which starts in the heart and goes to the tissues, and then from the tissues back to the heart. There's a forward circulation and a return circulation. But with the lymphatic system, there is only a return circulation from the tissues to the heart and the surface here in the subclavian veins. So the work of the lymphatic system is the same kind as the veins, the return circulation. That is, taking away from the tissues toxins and bringing them up to the surface. And in the case of the lymphatic system, it is taking the toxins plus the microbes. Many microbes are also transported by the lymphatic system. So there are about 800 nodes in the lymphatic system, and they are situated in different parts of the body, a bit all along the parts of the lymphatic system, but there are clusters of them, groups of them in different regions, such just here under the jaw, in the groin, and in the armpits. There are many ganglions, because there might be from the legs or from the arms microbes coming, and there's a need for many ganglions to be there in order to fight the microbes which could come that way.
So there's quite a lot in what you've said there, and I'm wanting to get my head around this. For many people, the only fluid that they're aware of that's within the body is blood. Of course, there's urine but that's an excretion. So a lot of people might be surprised to discover that there are other types of liquid in the body as well. So the question that comes to mind is, we know that the heart is pumping blood around the system, and you've been talking about capillaries being where we find this lymphatic fluid. What is it that's helping that fluid to go around the body?
That's an interesting point, because the heart pushes the blood all around the system, but there is no heart for the lymphatic system. So, except in some animals, but usually there's not. So there's another way the lymph can go forwards in the capillaries, in the lymphatic vessels. And the way it functions is that it's the same thing as in the intestines, a peristaltic movement. That is in the walls of the vessel, lymphatic vessels, are muscles which can contract and then relax. And when they contract, there's not enough place for the lymph anymore, because the diameter is very small. So the lymph is pushed forwards. And this movement takes place continuously, but slowly. That's why the lymph circulates only very slowly. But there's another thing which helps, is that the lymphatic vessel, they follow the same path as the blood vessels, and the blood vessels have a movement of tension and then relaxed tension because of the heart beating, and this movement of tension presses the lymphatic vessels and help the lymph to go forwards. And the same thing can also happen, or also happens, with our muscles. When our muscles contract, it pushes on the lymphatic vessels, and so also our breathing will press on the lymphatic vessel, and the lymph will be pushed forwards up to the subclavian veins.
So that's very interesting, because basically what you're saying is there's no direct pump, but it's muscular action, whether it's driven by the heart that's pushing the circulation system, having an effect on the capillaries through which the lymph is traveling, or our own movements, muscular movements, also having an effect on that, and our breathing in itself can also, and of course, because our breathing affects our muscles, doesn't it?
It does, they do.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, that's a very useful description of how it works. And you've talked about it being involved in circulation, but you've also mentioned detoxification. Can you tell us more about the role it plays in circulation?
Yeah, the blood circulates, and deep when the blood is in the blood capillaries, a part of the liquid in the blood goes out of the capillaries and go into the interstitial level. That is the surrounding of the cells. And this surrounding is the internal environment of the cells. And this liquid which has come out, which is called plasma, contains different things like vitamins and hormones and things like that. But as this liquid is also around the cells which are functioning will reject waste products, reject toxins, which be in this liquid. And this liquid is something which is called the extracellular fluid. And therefore, the lymph is, in fact, the lymph is built with this extracellular fluid. The capillaries of the lymph have small opening in which by which the extracellular liquid can come in, and then it changes name, it's called lymph. Yeah. So, but with the liquid which comes from the surrounding of the cell into the lymphatic system are toxins, are nutrients, and so forth. And those, but let's talk about the toxins. You know that in natural medicine, we think that's the basic reason why we are sick is that we accumulate too many toxins in the body, which make the blood thick and which will obstruct the vessels and congest the liver and so forth. And it's very important for the body to always eliminate the toxins as soon as possible and in big quantities. And one actor responsible for this is the lymphatic system. It takes this liquid, extracellular liquid, with the toxins and carries those toxins up to the subclavian veins. And then the blood will carry those toxins to the excretory organs. That is, the organs which are specialized in taking the toxin out of the blood and then eliminating them out of the body. That is, there are 5 of them: the liver, which eliminate the toxin in the bile, the intestines, the kidneys, which eliminate in urine, the skin when we sweat, and our lungs, but the toxins are in gas form. So that's the way what is transported and how the toxins are brought to the excretory organs to be eliminated. So it's important that the lymphatic system functions well, so they are really carried out. It's the way they must be. And in fact, sorry, there's another point. The same thing happens with the venous blood. It takes the same liquid and brings it back. But there's something extra which takes place in the lymphatic system, and that is that the lymph must go through many nodes. And those nodes have the ability to neutralize the toxins. So if they are very aggressive or poison, it can already kind of neutralize that, or divide them in smaller kind of bits, so that the toxins which finally reach the excretory organs will be much easier to eliminate than if they had just been transported by the blood.
Just getting my head around everything that you're describing. And so let's just recap. So what's happening is that the lymph takes the toxins, or carries the toxins from the extracellular matrix,
Yeah.
which is fluid in which our cells rest or thrive.
Yeah.
So there's fluid with nutrients that's going into our cells, and the toxins that come from the cells are carried away by the lymph through the lymphatic system and end somewhere here where there are nodes, and at which point the blood carries the toxins to the excretion organs of the body.
Yeah, just it's perfectly correct, except one point. It's not up here, it's down here, just at that level. Yeah, the subclavian veins are here, but everything else is perfect.
Good. Okay, so that's nice and clear. I'm interested in the fact that you talked about there being a number of nodes under the arm and in the groin, and those are areas that get very sweaty. Is that why? Because this is a form of detoxing the body through sweat.
I don't know. I don't think it is. No, no. They're there because it's a strategic place to be for a different reason. And I'm not sure exactly why. But one of the explanation is in the groin, the legs are long. There can be infections in any place. And the microbes which come in the lymphatic system must be destroyed before they come to the heart or the kidneys or so forth. And with a lot of nodes there, it can stop the microbes, kill them, and keep the body in a good state without infection.
So this then brings us to immunity, doesn't it? Because that's part of the immune system. So we've got, it plays a part in circulation and detoxification. So now tell us about the immunity.
Yeah. The immune system produces lymphocytes, which are small soldiers, shall we say, which attack the microbes and kill them. There are three, the main ones are the lymphocytes K and T, and the macrophage, I don't know how it's pronounced exactly, are big cells which can eat many microbes in one go. And the other two I mentioned, they kill the microbes with special substances or enzymes. And there are also the B lymphocytes, which produce the antibodies. And these lymphocytes are produced, among other places, in the lymphatic nodes. They produce these lymphocytes, and some of them stay in the lymphatic system. So when a microbe comes into the system, lymphatic system, they will reach the nodes where it's full of lymphocytes, and they will be attacked and destroyed. And if they are not destroyed, they will go to the next, they are carried away to the next nodes, which will destroy them. Well, they'll be attacked again and destroyed if necessary, if needed, and so forth. So that's one way, one of the contribution of the lymphatic system. It produced those these lymphocytes, which work in the lymphatic system, but which also go out of it, up here, and in the blood circulation, and then are carried around and settle in different places in the body. That's one of the action of the lymphatic system, but there are also small organs, or big organs too, which are part of the lymphatic system, which are called lymphatic organs, such as the spleen, the thymus, which is a small gland here, and also the bone marrow, and so forth. And these organs also produce lymphocytes, but they are part of the lymphatic system. That's why they're called lymphatic organs. So great lot of the lymphocytes produced in the body are produced by the lymphatic system. I think we can also say all are produced in the lymphatic system in one place or another. So that's the reason why it's important to have a healthy lymphatic system, because if it's healthy, it can produce many lymphocytes, as many as needed, and very powerful ones. If the lymphatic is not in order, then the production will be not so numerous. They will be lacking some lymphocytes, and they will not be as efficient. So they'll be there, but they work, but they will not work as well as they should. So that's the importance here.
So what can go wrong? This is clearly a really important part of our body. It's a very important system in terms of maintaining good health. Why can it go wrong, and how can it go wrong?
Yeah, well, what can happen? I'll come back to the notion we have in natural medicine that we become ill because the internal environment accumulates too many toxins, and that I didn't mention before, we are lacking in nutrients, vitamins, minerals, and so forth. These are the two basic thing, and which brings the body to be sick, or any organ to become sick, and the lymphatic system also. So the lymphatic system becomes weaker and doesn't work as well as it should when it has to transport too many toxins and cannot follow the rhythm. Then the toxins will accumulate in the lymph, which will become thicker, flow slower, which is not good. The toxins can also be deposited on the walls of the lymphatic vessels, capillaries, and also those toxins can make a congestion in the lymph nodes. So the whole system is slowed down, is congested, and hinders the lymphatic system to work correctly. That's the main reason why. And why are there too many toxins? It's not, doesn't come by chance, or it's because of our decisions. Toxins are waste products which are produced by the body when we use the food we eat. Like protein will give uric acid, for example, or urea, and so forth, or cholesterol, and all those are toxins which can be in the body and can be also transported by the lymphatic system. So it's our wrong decisions in the way we eat that leads to those, and other things, of course, which we can go into it maybe later on now. What things to do, yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So we can see that lifestyle plays a big part in this. I would imagine also environmental factors, such glyphosate that's put on so much of the food that we eat, etc. What about stress? Because it strikes me that stress must play a part in this, because stress affects the musculature of the body.
Yeah. When someone is stressed, he will be the muscle will contract. He becomes stiff or overexcited, but usually it's stiff, and therefore the lymphatic vessel will not be so supple to work, and the muscle will not work as exercise this pressure against the lymphatic system. Everything gets very stony or hard, and the flow of lymph is not correct. And yeah, stress can disrupt the functioning of the body as a whole, and the lymphatic system also. Yeah.
Okay. So that's really helpful to know. So what can we do to help our lymphatic system? What does it need to make it happy?
Yeah, well, the first thing to do is, which is the main cause for the problems, is we've got to reduce the amount of toxins in the body. And to do this, we have to act or change our diet, because toxins come from food. When we eat too much food as a whole, we overeat, then everything which we eat, which the body doesn't need, will have to go out of the body. And it's considered as waste products, as toxins. And there's also the problem that, as you mentioned, some chemicals are put on the foods, pollution brings poisons. All those are poisons or toxics, and the toxins come from what we eat. So it's important that the person learns that there are foods which produce a lot of toxins, but others which produce very few toxins. So let's start with the big production of toxins. Food which are rich in proteins, that is meat, cheese, soya, and things like that, and which are full of fats, that is butter, using too much oil, eating too much cheese, and also too many carbohydrates, like too much pasta, breads, and so forth, and sugar. Just to mention the main ones, these are the foods which produce a lot of toxins. So we need them, except white sugar, but we need the others, but we have to consider not to eat more than we need and try to work towards this aim. Now you will say, what is left? What can we eat? Yeah, the food which doesn't produce too many toxins are all the vegetables, carrots, salads, and etc., and also all the fruits. So what the person who has lymphatic problem usually eats is mostly the food which is heavy in toxins and not so much the others. And this has to change. The people must eat more fruits and much more vegetables, and also reduce, of course, the meat, cheese, and oil and fats and so forth. That's the first thing. But by doing this, sorry, yeah?
So this is about getting things into balance, because if you're over relying on meat, dairy, perhaps that's not the best thing to do. But if you're balancing it, then that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's a question of balance. It's not a question of cutting them out totally. It's finding the correct amount for you, and the person can be helped. Well, can find it alone or go to see a naturopath or someone who can help him in this matter. Yeah.
So aside from food, is there anything else that we can do to help our lymphatic system?
Yes, there are many things. The other thing is, with what we've just said about food, we are reducing the quantity of toxin in the body, the toxins which are coming into the body. But the body is already full of toxins, and we would like them to come out and stay outside. And that's where the detoxification comes into question. Detoxification is done like that. One has to stimulate the organs which role is to take the toxin out of the blood and eliminate them. So, and this can be easily done with herbal remedies, I mean plants. Huh? Like, let's take the example of the liver. The liver can be stimulated by taking dandelion, for example, either in the form of a mother tincture or in the form of capsules. And the idea is to take those plants 3 times a day. So that's 3 times a day the liver is stimulated to work more than usual. And in the morning, at midday, in the evening. And this makes the liver works more. It was very slow in its functioning to detoxifying because it was full of toxins. But by taking these plants regularly, then it cleans itself of the toxins, can work better, then therefore can purify the blood better than usually, and so forth. And then when the blood is purer, it can take more toxins in the depths of the tissues and bring them up again. So that's what has to be done. And the same thing with the kidneys, with other plants. For the intestines, also be sure that they empty every day for sure. There are also other plants and there are different ways of doing it. And sweating also. But for lymphatic problem, the most important organs are the liver and the intestines. They must work really well because the kind of toxins which are mostly carried by the lymphatic system are those which are usually eliminated by these 2 organs.
Okay. So we can stimulate the liver and other organs to work more effectively, more efficiently.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that we could do to help our lymphatic system?
Yeah, we can take plants which act on the lymphatic capillaries and vessels. These plants stimulate, strengthen the vessels. They can have this peristaltic movement make this in a stronger way. It will also make the lymph more fluid so that it flows more easily. And it can also stimulate the lymph nodes to work better. That is detoxify, but also produce more of these lymphocytes. And these plants can be taken again in the form of capsules or in the form of essential oils. These are the two kind of things. In my book, I give the names which can be used. Usually it's the same kind of plants as which are taken for the venous system. And it helps in this matter. But there's also another thing, which is lymphatic drainage or massage. It's a very special massage, and then it's totally different from the usual massage, because usually one presses hard, one wants to go deep in the tissues, one goes quite quickly and full of intensely. But the lymphatic system massage is totally different. It's very slow movements in the surface, and it goes very slowly and not pressing hard, just very light. And one has to learn how to do it. And because the massage is done in the rhythm of the circulation of the lymph, so that it's not, if you go too fast, it will block the circulation. It has to go very slowly. And by people who know how to do this, they can push the lymph in the vessel forwards and forwards, or they can also empty the lymphatic nodes. For example, if they are all swollen up here when you have a sore throat, they can massage here and push the lymph further out here, in fact. And it's really effective, and it's a great help also for the people who have this kind of problems.
That's really interesting, because that means that we can actually help everything along through massage, and that's a good thing to know.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah, well, one can also, under the feet, on the sole of the feet, are reflexology areas, each one corresponding to specific organs. And there are areas which are in relation with the lymphatic system. So the person can massage those areas. There we can go quite hard. It's even good if it's hard. And by stimulating this area, the lymphatic nodes will be stimulated, or other parts of the lymphatic system. And it's a way of stimulating the organs we choose to stimulate. We can also do it on the liver and so forth, but yeah, it's specific. One has to do it every day, learn how to do it, but one can do it ourselves, or go to a therapist who does it for us.
Wonderful. Well, that's absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much, because in just this short space of time, you've helped us to understand so much more. Because people, we hear about the lymphatic system. Yeah. We have an idea of what it might do, but today you've made everything very clear for us. Thank you so much.
That was a pleasure. Thank you.
And a reminder to our viewers that the book that we have been discussing is called Lymph Health. And I will be putting a link to that in the description box. Christopher, if people wanted to find you and learn more about your work, how do they do that?
I've got a website where I present the books I've written. There are many articles, videos, and also books for free downloads. And it's in French. I live in Switzerland, but there's an English part and a German part also. And the address of the website is my name. It's Christopher Vasey, in one word, .ch. Christopher Vasey .ch.
Wonderful. I'll be putting a link to that in the description box as well.
Wow, thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Christopher, for your time today.
Yeah.
And thank you all for watching. Next time, we're going to be looking at the role of the other in myth, culture, and within ourselves. Until then, goodbye.